Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
So, guys, we wanted to give you a quick update on a few things going on. And stay tuned at the end of this video. Cindy will be doing a special tune to help you guys out there.
Yes.
So, we see now we're up to 3 dead and 99 missing after that partial collapse of the Miami condo building. And boy, we got everything going out there. There's so many different ideas. Seems the preeminent ones are sinkhole, thinking earth change related. Some, maybe I'll just show you. And some are saying something like this as you look at a tweet from Jenna Ellis. And I was a little surprised, maybe I shouldn't be, to see somebody saying that, but that was immediately what came to me. I would have to think if it was a sinkhole, wouldn't you have kind of like a sliding effect or a sloping effect or a wobbling effect? Not just that immediate, like, straight down drop. We see sinkholes in Florida, and especially over around between Tampa and Orlando, that whole area. And they swallow things up, and it tends to happen slowly. And then MSN came out with a story that was saying that the building was sinking since the 90s. It was built in 81. And then BP Earthwatch was correlating it with that 3.9, what we've been told is an exercise the Navy was doing to basically test the hull of a ship. Although, many had the same opinion there too, where that footage looked to be kind of stock to us. And of course, we asked the guides, and the guides gave us a very quick, definitive answer, more in line with the thinking that we were just sharing right here. And, by the way, Jenna Ellis, in case you guys don't know, attorney, and former former senior, there's lots of seagulls in Florida.
Yes, there is.
Legal advisor and counsel, 45. Interesting. The Surfside mayor said buildings like this don't fall down in America.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It didn't, wouldn't they have warnings if this was going on for so long? I mean, why was this full of people? Wasn't there cracks? Didn't somebody say anything? It's just too awkward, and something doesn't make sense. And when things don't make sense to this extent, they're usually not true.
No, and especially when you see immediate, like, oh, but there was this or that.
Right.
Or a friend of a friend of a friend went to go look at an apartment over there, and no, you could tell it was going to come down, exactly, 18 and a half years later in 3 days and 4 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody has to look for their own insight and intuition. Develop that intuition, guys.
Indeed.
Develop it. And so Russia releases video of British warships' incursion into waters near Crimea, clearly contradicting London's version of events. And as we said, there's always cover-up and spin and cover-up. And, it's just par for the course. There's never a straight answer. Just, that NASA system of never a straight answer operates at all levels, most definitely in politics.
It works very well too.
It's all about spin and control the narrative, siege control, right?
Yeah.
It's a siege on us. And, they're just always trying to direct and redirect and get you to see things their way. Whoever they may be. Sometimes it'll be the left, sometimes it'll be the right, or sometimes the real puppet masters themselves. As we know, there's bigger strings attached here. And again, the people of conflicting countries. Like the average person in Germany in World War II, they didn't want this. They didn't want World War II. Same thing with World War One. You know, the average people in these countries just want peace. They just want to be able to do their own thing. You know, for you, it might be, might be just going and taking in some sporting games finally and relaxing on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's getting out there and gardening. Or maybe it's taking a long ride on your motorcycle. Or maybe that's a bicycle. Whatever it is, that floats your boat and makes your heart hum, that's really all the average person wants. But of course, the average person really, even though we all have our ego, the ego gets bigger the higher up you go.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes like, we would say, how could you even conceive of needing the wealth of a Bezos, a Gil Bates, a Musk, or a Rockefeller, or a Rothschild? What? How can anybody possibly need that type of wealth? But there's a certain sense of ego, and that's all the me, which is all basically that solar plexus survivalist thinking that drives. And we're moving from that. We're going to go up into, instead of the third chakra, the solar plexus, we're going up into a heart-centered place as we leave this, dark age and go up. First, we got to go up into a bronze, then a silver, and then a golden age to come. But it's going to look a lot better once we are clear of this time frame. And again, you can't put bandages on this system. And there's people that are holding out hope that maybe just the right politician will come along and fix everything.
Yeah, I know. And what's really important though is we need to focus on that heart-centeredness and having understanding for other people and having forgiveness and holding that compassion, because we never really know what someone else is going through. And that's really important to know. I mean, to just keep in mind, no matter what kind of a bad day you're having, who says what, where, when, keeping in our mind that we don't know what they're going through, if we've had a bad day or if they've had a bad day, because we've got to move up into that heart center.
Most definitely. And again, the average citizens in Russia and China, they don't really want war. Mm-hmm. Like the average people here in the United States or Australia, Canada, UK. The average people don't want war, but war brings profits and war brings opportunity for certain businesses, for sure. Mm-hmm. Certain power structures as well can be changed in times of war, and power can be gained and controlled. As we've seen, so many of our liberties are just things of the past. Taiwan's foreign minister says we need to prepare for war with China. And, again, it's this mentality that has to change. And, again, we need to stop waiting for a savior to come. Mm-hmm. And we have to find ways to get ourselves out of the system and just say no to everything that they're trying to sell us. Because a lot of people have been saying no, and things have not been going quite as they really wanted, which again makes for a dangerous entity.
Yeah, it kind of makes things get a little bumpy for everybody.
Sure does. It most definitely can. And by the way, we were talking about those temperatures, incredible temperatures in the Pacific Northwest. The Arctic Circle is already recording 118 degrees Fahrenheit degree days. Wow, that's pretty intense temperatures. And actually, Russia is heating up, and Moscow's breaking records left and right. So it's interesting, but these rapid swings, they just seem to get more and more extreme. And there again is that possibility of weather warfare, which I think the vast majority of you guys think is most definitely a fact. Technology is there. We've seen all, we haven't seen all, but we've seen enough declassified documents to know that technology is there. And we have hundreds injured, villages destroyed, a strong tornado rips through the Czech Republic and numerous towns. They think this was F3 or F4 category. Massive damage. Let's send our prayers and best wishes to these people,
Mm-hmm.
as well as you can see the dramatic photos. It's been one thing after another. Another interesting little occurrence here. Scottish dark sky observatory destroyed in a suspicious fire. Interesting. Emergency services called to the site at about 0100. Joint police and fire service investigations got to be carried out to find the cause. I wonder what their telescopes were aimed at. I wonder what they caught that maybe they weren't supposed to catch.
I know.
Lots of interesting things going on for sure. 60% of banana crops in Colima were wiped out by tropical storm Dolores, by the way. It's just one impact after another as well to the whole food system, which is ramping up, you know, and we had to go shopping, so we went shopping today, and honestly, I found some surprisingly good buys.
Yes, that was a nice surprise. Very nice, welcomed surprise.
Yeah, and really, where we are, I didn't see any shortages at this point. I did not see any shortages, and it really is different from different places in the country, and we've lived all over the country, so we've gotten to experience different places. But things are in abundance, and actually, watermelons, big, huge, gigantic watermelons, were only like $2.75.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good deal there. But yeah, this one did massive damage to the banana supply, and this is just one after another, which is adding up in this all too perfect storm. Northeast China rivers reach historic levels among persistent heavy rain. Yep. 13 rivers rising to record levels, parts of northeastern China. The Ministry of Water Services reported on Saturday, and as of Tuesday, provincial authorities in Heilongjiang upgraded to a level 2 emergency response. And, you know, if it's not flooded, then it's bone dry. And we do have more strange mystery booms. This was in Maghull, England. People said it sounded maybe like a cannon going off. Earth change related? Ship related? Alien related?
Something silly related.
Well, you know, U.S. life expectancy fell by more than a year, 1.3 years in 2020, and they're blaming it on the plague upon the land. But interesting enough, I think this has been the third year in a row that we've had a decrease in the U.S. life expectancy.
Yes, that's something to pay attention to.
Yes, it certainly is. And again, you know, the sad diet, the standard American diet, it should be a thing of the past.
Oh, way past, yeah.
We have to change our lifestyle. You have to in these times. You have to be as strong and healthy as you possibly could be to get through these times. It's going to be very, very challenging, but we can do it. Astronomers have just detected a comet, well, perhaps, so big it might actually be a minor planet. And somebody had mentioned that Rex talked about this, I think it was yesterday. And I see everybody's been jumping on this. So we asked the guides about this, and we got an interesting answer. This is a very, very large object. It's named 2014 UN 271. Astronomers Pedro Bernardinelli and Gary Bernstein found it in archival images from the Dark Energy Survey. It appears to be about 100 kilometers wide, or 2 to 3 times bigger than record-breaking Comet Hale-Bopp of the 1990s. So, very curious, very interesting. The closest it's going to get to us, they say, is 2031, when it will come, well, basically inside or around the neighborhood of Saturn. Interesting, that too. You know, the thought is that Saturn was the sun of the Golden Age. Isn't that interesting in and of itself? And when we ask the guides, what is this object? Is this a comet? Is it a dwarf planet? Is it planet X? Is it Nibiru? Well, we knew it wasn't Nibiru. But what did the guide say?
It feels very much like and is beings coming to help assist. So I get a very good vibration from this object. Very good. I would go as far as to say Pleiadian, and beings that are coming here to possibly teach, possibly be like gurus, possibly help restructure our way of life, how we live. They're not going to be extremely noticeable as far as are they going to look like 12-foot tall aliens? No, no. These are very humanoid, very kind, gentle, and I just love the vibration I got off of them. So to me, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this.
So it's basically a ship heading this way.
Yes.
And when we were, as we've been saying, the dark ones are going to be losing their grip around 2030. That's when they're truly going to be losing their grip. Things will start accelerating. As we know, 2024, 2025 is going to be kind of peak. That's going to be the biggest hold on tight to the roller coaster. Although it's going to ramp up again towards the end of this year.
Mhm.
And we'll have a ramping up in August, September, likely, but towards the end of this year. November, what was that date? November 19th, wasn't it?
So yeah, around there.
Yeah, November 19th was a eclipse.
I think
Or conjunction.
It was an eclipse.
It was, yeah, it's an eclipse that's coming.
Mhm.
And that's going to be interesting time period. Again, we really need to be as prepared as possible. But see, there is a little light at the end of the tunnel, guys. We just have to make it till we get to the point where they are no longer able to hang on to the vibrational frequency. And so what we're getting is that that's going to be more like around the 2030. So with this coming by 2031, curiously enough, closest approach seems to be around Saturn. So yeah, that got me wondering and thinking about the sequel to 2001, 2010, where I believe it was Jupiter in the movie ignites into a second sun, and all the satellites around Jupiter become more habitable planets for humanity to go explore and use. Except for we're told Europa stay away from. And it's interesting because Europa has basically, it's iced over seas. So there really, really could be life in the oceans of Europa. And, very likely there is. And that would be a good one, too, for us to remote view. And I think in the book, it was Saturn that ignites, if I'm remembering right. So, yeah, will we have a second sun? Maybe. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting stuff. So we have to hang on, and we do it best by working together outside of the system. Get out of the system. Don't count on anybody in the system. And it's easier said than done. And it is going to take some time, but that's the best option.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. We couldn't do it without you guys. Also, make sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up to support the channel, and click the bell so you get notifications. Cindy's going to give us some dings. She's actually got she's got 3 forks that she's going to do. And these are going to help first to dispel any negative energies, and then the other ones are going to help open the heart chakra. And what else you got going there?
Well, we got a little help for opening the pineal gland for people to have a little bit better idea and understanding of what's coming at them. So it'll help the intuition.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Okay, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Looking forward to the comments, and God bless and namaste.
God bless and namaste, guys.